Today I'm going to demonstrate the flow of data for Pet Tiger from the field to payroll. We start our day with time in, creating the crew that's working together for the day. So I'm going to change my time for the actual time they started the day. Now this is something that you have control of through preferences. If you want them to only record the current time, you can lock that out and they can't change it. I'm going to choose my field. I'm going to start with my hourly workers, so I chose the job of checkers. At the top we have two scan buttons, a red scan and a blue scan. The blue scan scans once and closes the window. The red scan allows for multiple scans and does not close until you tap it again to close it. For my hourly workers, I'm going to use the blue scan. And I time in my first two hourly workers. I change my job to be the supervisor, and I scan my supervisor in. And then I want to do my harvesting. So here I'm going to scan in with the multiple, and I'm going to scan all the harvesting employees. Okay, so now we've clocked in all of our employees for the day. When we're done with it, we go back to the main menu and we wait for the next records that we need to create. So the next thing would be the break time. So I go to crew time in, I'm going to move everybody to break together. I'm going to change my job to break. I'm going to change my time to be when they went to their break. And I'm going to save. I get a list of the employees that are taking the break. If anybody wasn't going, I could uncheck them, and I save the record. They continue to work doing harvesting through the day. Next would either be meal or possibly a move to another field. So I'm going to do the meal. I'm changing my job to lunch. I'm changing my time to reflect when the lunch would be. And I save. Again, if anybody wasn't taking their lunch, I could uncheck them, save the records. They continue to work in the fields. We're going to do our peace outs today as a crew peace out, so we don't need those until the day is over. Though you could be doing the individual peace outs throughout the whole day, and that would be in your peace out screen. Here you define the number of pieces. The employee, if you're doing multiple package styles, you would make the selection of the pack style. So I want to do my break for the afternoon. I'm going to go back to crew time in. I'm going to choose the job of break. I'm going to change my time. And I'm going to save. Again, I can uncheck anyone. So now they continue to work through the rest of the day, and we get to the end and we're ready to do our crew peace out. So I go to the crew peace out, set my time. Enter the number of pieces. What's my package size? And save. So my harvesters did two package styles this time, so I choose the other package style. I choose my number of pieces. And I save. So you can see now it's accumulated 547 pieces between the two records. Now we need to actually time them out of the job. When they're leaving the fields, we can do them as an individual timeout, or if everyone leaves together, we can do it as a crew timeout. I'm going to choose the crew timeout. I'm going to set this for the time they would have left. Select my crew and save. Again, if anybody's not leaving, I could uncheck them, and we're done. So as we're recording this stuff throughout the day, they're automatically being sent into the Pet Windows system for available viewing, creating your mapping, looking at productivity. when we're finished for the day, we always do one last push of data that clears the current records from the device and sends them one last time into the Windows server. So I'm going to tap the sync, and yes, I want to continue. So now it's sending me those records. So the first thing that happens in the office every day is a transfer to job cards. We go here in the Windows Pet System to transfer to job cards. It automatically gives us the previous date. If we needed to, we can change that back, or we can change it to an earlier date if we weren't caught up. We choose our selection of time card crew. I'm going to select it, and I'm choosing my orchards, and I'm going to execute. So here we have all of yesterday's records that are ready for editing and or transfer. If we wanted to, we could review all of this, and we would see if we needed to add any missing information or delete any exceptions, edit any exceptions, and make corrections as needed. We make a note of the total number of pieces here at the top, and we click on transfer. It prompts you to proceed, and we click on yes. Now it's adding together and creating job cards. That is the gross pay that is calculated from the time ins, the time outs, and the piece outs. You can see we have colors in the grid here as well. We have a definition of them here. I've created with this crew a automatic creation of job cards for the exercise that starts the day for everyone. We can take a look at the grid, and we can see what different people are paid. Again, we have editing tools at the top. I can open the card and take a look at specific information. If I want to know how the calculation was done to give them their crew pieces, I could go to the description tab and see that. So once this data is reviewed, you're done with it for the day until you're ready to send it to accounting. So we're going to close this, and we're going to look at today's records. So I'm going to go to my transfer to job cards. We're going to change this to today. And here we see all of the records that I created on my device for you just a few minutes ago. You take a glance at it, make sure everything looks well. No exceptions. Everyone's got their in, their breaks, their meal, and their time out. If everything looks good, you're ready to transfer. So we go to transfer here. And yes. And again, it's combining the ins and the outs and the piece outs to create the calculated pay for the employees. You would review this data, and then you're ready to leave it until the end of the pay period and ready for export to accounting. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go now to my export to accounting. So I want here the last day of the payroll, which is 10/12, my job card crew, and I execute. These are the job cards that we transferred just a moment ago. We make note of our totals here. We print and report to have information in case we need it for the future on the current payroll. We have a large list of job card reports available, as well as time card reports. You would select the report that you want and execute. It uses the filter of the grid automatically, so you don't need to make more selections. And we can either print or save this as a PDF. So we're done with the data for now. We've canceled this grid. The next step would be your export to accounting. I am using Famous in this example, so I'm going to click on Export to Accounting. We have our information again here. We execute. We click Export to Accounting. It asks us to proceed. We click on Yes. It's automatically saving this in the same path as my Famous will import from. This is defined in your preferences. We can save it with the name. We have a successful export, so it's ready now on the Famous side to bring that data in. So here is my Famous accounting software. We go into our payroll daily work and we choose our transaction import. We can type or copy the name of the file and we do OK. We have a successful import. We click OK. If we want to look at the records, we could go to crew entry, and we can see what we imported. Now this is ready for you to go calculate and do the payroll. That's the overview of Pet Tiger from field to payroll. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to give Udi Sosnick a call, 1-800-656-7264.